For decades, every young star wanted to be the face of the NBA. But now, nobody wants that pressure, and LeBron James just explained why.
You never get used to the pressure. You just learn to embrace it.
For years, the NBA was built around superstars who embraced the spotlight. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. These were players who carried the league, took the criticism, and still thrived under pressure. But today, the face of the NBA isn't seen as an honor anymore. It's seen as a burden. Anthony Edwards just admitted he wants no part in being the next face of the NBA.
Consider yourself the top candidate to be the next face of the league?
No, not really.
Why?
That's what they got win before.
LeBron himself said he never asked for the title.
Why do you want to be the face of a league when all the people that that cover our game and talk about our game on a day-to-day basis on everybody?
And if you look at how today's players are covered by the media, can you really blame them? So what happened? Why did the ultimate NBA dream turn into something players run from? Because if LeBron is right, the NBA might never have a true face of the league ever again. There was a time when every NBA superstar wanted this role. Now, it's a job nobody is signing up for, and there's a reason why.
I'm capable of being that guy, but I don't want to be that guy. Put it like that.
In the 80s and 90s, being the face of the NBA was like wearing a crown. You weren't just a player, you were the standard. Michael Jordan's mark is still left around the globe. He didn't just define the Bulls, he defined basketball for an entire generation.
Michael Jordan is not only the best basketball player, but he's the most exciting basketball player to ever play. We only dream about doing things that he can do.
To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have the support.
You look at Kobe, he carried on the Jordan torch and built his entire brand on Mamba mentality.
And Michael Jordan is somebody that I've always looked up to and I want to play against.
And seriously, I don't think people really understand the amount of impact that he's had on me as a player and as a leader.
LeBron James stepped in next, carrying the league straight out of high school under impossible expectations.
To make an impact on this game, and I think we're doing a great job of following tradition, and that's just playing great basketball. And it's not, sometimes you think about basketball, it's about being a good person off the court too.
But today, that crown is heavier than ever. When you're the face of the league now, you're a magnet for 24/7 criticism, especially in the social media era.
And I already said he don't want it. Yeah, and say he ain't trying to deal with that.
I'm gonna call it, like I said, this is some straight BS. I'm not saying everything that he said was BS, because I understand there's an enormous amount of pressure that gets elevated, fellas, when it comes to being the face of the league. I understand that, but I don't appreciate what he said. I really, really don't.
You miss a big shot. You're labeled as not clutch. Pull a hamstring in a missed playoff run.
Now keep in mind, Harden lost 21 games this season due to a right hamstring injury.
You're labeled injury prone. It's relentless. Even the greats aren't saved. Look at KD, who racked up MVPs and championships, yet can't escape the "he took the easy route" label. Regardless if he did or not, the critiques overshadow the accomplishments. The truth is, social media flipped the script from celebrating greatness to magnifying weaknesses. The moment you're the face of the NBA, every mistake, big or small, gets torn apart by the media. It's no longer just about winning titles. It's about surviving an endless cycle of hot takes, memes, and in some cases, personal attacks. If you ask MJ or Kobe if they wanted to be at the center of that during today's time of media coverage, who knows how they'd respond? Even LeBron, who'd arguably created the modern NBA celebrity blueprint, has admitted it could be exhausting. 2 decades of wearing the crown is like 2 decades of standing in the middle of a storm with nowhere to hide. Being the face of the NBA isn't about greatness anymore. It's about weathering the backlash that comes with it. For today's rising stars, that trade-off might not be worth it. The biggest difference maker between past NBA legends and today's stars, they didn't have to deal with social media. We live in a world today where any 12-year-old with a smartphone can call a superstar overrated and spark a million-view viral clip. Think back to Michael Jordan's day.
Chicago ran their spread. Jordan thought that he had the step, then pulled up, and he just didn't like the balance he had on the shot. You could tell as he
If you play bad in the finals, you might see criticism in the next day's newspaper or a brief segment on SportsCenter. Now, that same play becomes a global talking point instantly. Fans, haters, analysts, and rival players can weigh in before you even leave the arena.
Hey, watch your mouth, woman! Watch your mouth, woman!
LeBron, who's been under the microscope since he was a teenager, calls the coverage weird energy. And he's not wrong. Stephen A. Smith, for instance, can take one snippet of the game and stretch it into hours of content, firing off hot takes that shape the public's perception.
Steven, you when it comes to LeBron James, you start hating. That's how I feel. Cause I feel like you more of an older generation type of dude. You like Michael Jordan, cool. But listen, every time when there's a debate going on with you and with Michael Jordan and LeBron James, you always got something to say about LBJ. And I'm here to say, bro, LeBron's better than Jordan. I said it.
Charles Barkley, for example, can talk about the mentality of a player and it'll be repeated through social media for weeks. Even other athletes like PK from the NHL have felt obligated to chime in on NBA topics, which he's admitted he doesn't watch.
The NBA has that issue that they got to work on. You got to create a better culture for your players.
For young stars like Ja Morant, Zion, or Anthony Edwards, who grew up with social media, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, it boosts your brand, but also leaves you exposed to relentless scrutiny. One tweet, one Instagram post, or even an offhand comment on a live stream can blow up and shift the narrative around your entire career. It's no wonder players are cautious. The headlines can flip faster than an in-game momentum swing. One day you're the next big thing. The next day everyone's pulling out receipts of your Twitter meltdown or your bad body language on the bench. You get the point. It's ruthless out here. Back then, legends let their game speak. Today, stars have to prove themselves every day, battling non-stop criticism online. But here's where things get interesting. What if the NBA doesn't need another LeBron? What if the future isn't about one face, but a league full of them? Look at the NBA today. There's no shortage of talent. But when it comes to finding the next face of the league, that's a different story. Luka Doncic, who's already sharing the floor with the current face, and he has the skills to take over, but does he want to? Nikola Jokic is a two-time MVP, a finals MVP, and a global icon, but he's openly said he'd rather be at home with his horses. Giannis has one of the most greatest underdog stories in NBA history, yet he never seems to chase the spotlight. Wemby, now he's the only one that I can really see as the face, being marketed as the best draft prospect since LeBron, but even with all the hype, does he really want the pressure that comes with it? And that's the thing, none of these guys seem obsessed with becoming the face of the NBA. Winning, yes. Greatness, of course. But stepping into the firestorm of media narratives, legacy debates, and daily scrutiny, that's a battle that none of them are fighting for. And guess what? Even though TV ratings are down, financially, the NBA is doing just fine. Thriving, actually. Revenue continues to climb. The league's last big TV deal was worth $76 billion. And fans all over the globe are tuning into their local favorites and national superstars. Maybe the NBA isn't built around one face anymore. It's an entire galaxy of stars, each shining in their own way and pulling in fans from every part of the world. The NBA may no longer be built around just one face. We've seen the shift. MJ ruled in the 90s, Kobe carried the torch, and LeBron became the game's centerpiece. But now, the league is starting to feel less like a one-man empire and more like a galaxy of superstars. Maybe the future isn't just about one face, but a league full of them. Some fans who enjoyed the 2010s era of basketball might tune into a Steph Curry night. Others, who are more recent, might be drawn to Shea's all-around dominance.
Month and a half. Jokic Alexander finally on the board with a sweet drive and finish.
That's difficult to pick Shea up that far out on the floor.
And for international fans, the next face of the NBA might be rising from their own home country. If this is where the league is heading, its brand will revolve around a single icon, with a wide range of talent, each star shining in its own way. Maybe this isn't a problem at all. Maybe it's a sign of evolution. A global league with multiple international megastars might not need one chosen king. And when you sit back and think and put yourself in the shoes of an NBA player, it makes you think, is this really just about basketball? Or is there something deeper, a mental toll that comes with carrying the entire league on your shoulders? We talk about stats, we talk about championships, but how often do we talk about the mental weight of being an NBA frontman? For players like LeBron, that pressure started in high school. Imagine being 17 and constantly asked if you're the next Michael Jordan. Every game, every interview, every headline. Your entire career is a legacy debate before you can even legally vote. Today's players are more vocal about mental health than ever before. Kevin Love and DeMar DeRozan have spoken openly about their struggles.
At first, it was a little scary. I think from suffering with anxiety and depression for a long time into having my first panic attack on November 5th and not really knowing what that meant to fast forwarding being here now, it's changed my frame of mind.
The NBA has even introduced mental health programs to help players manage the pressure. And yet, the environment for the face of the league is anything but peaceful. Your friendships, your sponsorships, your personal life, everything is analyzed and picked apart. If you struggle under the pressure, it's a character flaw. If you stay composed, you're cold or uncaring. At this point, choosing not to be the face of the league might be a survival strategy. I mean, think about it. Why willingly step into the fire when you can still be an MVP candidate, make millions, and avoid the next day Twitter meltdown about either how you played or who you shook hands with or didn't shake hands with after a game? This level of scrutiny, we've never seen it in the NBA at this magnitude. Sure, Bill Russell and Wilt faced extreme pressure, but it was nowhere near the relentless 24/7 digital age that today's players get. This is uncharted territory. Call it self-preservation, call it a smarter approach to fame, but today's stars aren't running from the responsibility. They're protecting themselves from the reality of being the face of the league. And maybe that's better for their game and their sanity. So maybe LeBron is onto something. Maybe the role he took on, shouldering an entire league's narrative for 2 decades, just isn't built for the new era. Maybe it's an outdated concept altogether. The NBA has become too big, too global, and too connected for one man to carry it all. In the 90s, fans didn't have as many ways to consume the NBA. There were fewer stars, and the league's marketing strategy practically needed an omnipresent icon to boost the brand. But now, with multiple superstars from around the world, fans can latch onto whoever stars resonates with them the most. You don't need a central figure because the league itself has become the mega star. Could we be in a transitional period? Possibly. Maybe in 5 years, Wemby, if he lives up to the hype, or some other person we haven't seen before, will step up and take the face of the NBA. But for now, it looks like nobody's running towards the label. They're running from it. Does the NBA even need one face of the league anymore? Or have we seen the last LeBron James, a singular megastar who stands above everyone else? Let me know in the comments. Peace.